My husband moved his family into my holiday home without my permission, so I sent him a picture of them in handcuffs. My grandma left me her cottage when she passed 2 years ago. It's about 6 hours away from where I live with my boyfriend, so I barely use it. Maybe twice a year for a long weekend. The keys sit on our key rack with every other key we own. Car keys, work keys, the whole collection. I installed a security system on the cottage since I'm never there. When it detects someone on the property, it sends a notification to my phone and the cameras turn on so I can see exactly who's there. My boyfriend's brother recently had his 4th kid. Him and his wife live in a 2-bedroom apartment with all 4 children. 3 days ago, they came over to our place with all the kids. We were having dinner and his brother eventually brings up my cottage. How it's got 3 bedrooms and a huge backyard. How I barely ever use it and it's just sitting there empty most of the year. I could see where this was going. The way his wife kept nodding along. The way they both looked at me with these hopeful eyes. My exact response was, yeah, but I'm not gonna let you live there. Dead silence. You could hear a pin drop. His brother's face went red and his wife immediately started gathering the kids and their stuff. They were out the door in less than 10 minutes. My boyfriend didn't say a word the rest of the night. I felt a little bad about how blunt I was because I know they genuinely need the space. 4 kids in a tiny apartment can't be easy. But it's my property and I didn't want to deal with the mess of having them live there rent-free. 2 days later, I wake up for work and my boyfriend isn't in bed next to me. Not super weird since he starts work at 5 a.m. and I wake up around 7, but usually he's still home when I get up. I'm getting ready to leave and go to grab my car keys from the rack. That's when I notice the cottage keys are missing. I look everywhere. Check the counter, check his jacket pockets, check the bowl by the door. Nothing. So I call him asking where the cottage keys are. He tells me he accidentally grabbed them in a rush this morning. I tell him it's fine, just don't lose them and bring them home after work. He says, yeah, no problem. I thought that was the end of it. Went to work like normal. Around 1 p.m., I'm at my desk and my phone buzzes with a security alert from the cottage. I open the app and nearly drop my phone. There's my boyfriend standing at the front door, his brother next to him, his brother's wife, and all 4 kids, and a full moving van parked in the driveway behind them. They're literally moving his family into my house without asking me. I couldn't focus the rest of the day. I left work early and drove straight home. My boyfriend was already there acting like everything was completely normal, making himself a sandwich in the kitchen. I lost it. Started screaming, asking why the hell he would move his entire family into my cottage without my permission, especially after I explicitly said no 3 days ago. He tried to justify it, said his brother really needed help. That family comes first, said I wasn't using the place anyway, so what's the big deal? That made me even angrier. I told him we're done and he has 24 hours to get his brother and his family out of my cottage, or I'm calling the police on all of them for trespassing. He laughed at me. Actually laughed. Said I needed to calm down and stop being dramatic, that I wouldn't really call the cops on his family. I told him I'm serious. Get them out or I'm getting the police involved. He said they're not leaving and I need to get over it. Called my bluff right to my face. That was it for me. I packed a bag, drove to a hotel, and called the police. Told them there were trespassers who broke into my property and needed to be removed immediately. The next day, I'm at work and get another notification from the cottage security system. I open it and there's a police car in the driveway. My boyfriend's brother, his wife, and even the older kids are all in handcuffs being walked to the car. I screenshot the image and texted it to my boyfriend with a message, thanks for getting them to leave baby, with a heart emoji. He called me 67 times in the next hour. I answered the first 3. He was screaming, calling me every name in the book. How could I do this to his family? How his brother's kids are traumatized. How I'm a heartless monster. I hung up and blocked his number. Then I called a locksmith to change all the locks on the cottage in our apartment. He showed up at our place that night, but I'd already changed the locks. He pounded on the door for 20 minutes before finally leaving. His mom called me the next day, crying, saying I ruined her grandson's lives, said they had to stay in a shelter that night. I told her maybe she should have raised her sons better and hung up. My boyfriend's stuff is still in boxes by the front door waiting for him to pick it up.